Good morning, guys. Good morning. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. Let's see if you're seeing my screen and um, let me see where you guys are at. Ooh, everything is so slow. Good morning, Crossy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're getting a little bit of a pop here on the open, which we will watch. Oh, a really, really nice strong pop here. I sort of want to trade this. I think I'm going to trade it just for fun. Okay, I'm long this thing just a little bit at 95. And I'm going to take my profits right now at +6. Okay, just a complete bullshit trade, but fun. Not anything that's our structure. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about our structure. I think I have some super interesting things to share with you. But this is kind of like a variant of something that I wanted to really share with you. So, okay, let's make sure everybody's in the room. Let's make sure everybody's in the room. Okay, everybody's in the room. Everybody's good. Who I'm talking to right now does not have access to Combo Alerts version 2, Combo Alerts V2, which is what you should be seeing on your screen when you're looking at it. If you don't, Karen, good morning. If you don't, in chat ask Boris, post your TradingView username, and I'll add you in right now. All right. Well, that was a fun little pump in the morning. Okay, everybody's good. There's nobody here that needs access. Everybody's access is fine. Connie, how's your thing is working fine now? Okay. All right, super. So let me completely change focus for the first 5-10 minutes of our conversation today from equities into FX, right? Good morning, Miguel. How are you? Because I think I have, I don't know if it's a legitimate explanation, but I think I have an explanation for why the long only side works so much better with our setup. And I want to explore a very, very interesting idea for you that that I'm just going to, let me just arrange all my currencies in. Actually, let's do it this way, because this would be like this, because there's a method to my madness here. There's a method to my madness. Okay. So, all right. In my stock watch, symbol watch thing, I'm gonna have, you notice I have Aussie, Kiwi, Euro. Sorry, this should be like this: Aussie, Kiwi, dollar, yen, Euro, pound, yen, dollar, CAD. Okay. The reason I have them in this particular format is if you think about the global day, what starts the day first? Asia starts the day first. So Aussie, Kiwi, yen, right? Start the day. Then Europe is next. And Europe, we include Euro, yen, and pound yen in the European circle. And then the only true North American currency is dollar, CAD, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody following me? Okay, hey, Maha, let me take care of you right now. Let me just take care of Maha. So this is all interesting because, hang on, let me just, Maha, bear with me just one sec, my friend. I just want to do this. God damn it, where is this? What's ES doing? Oh, yes. Because you typed ES, which is S&P 500 futures. So I was like, what's ES doing? Okay. All right, Maha, you should have your thing. Okay. So just kind of let you know, I don't know if this is subconscious, conscious, or anything else, but I think it's just fascinating. All of you in Europe know about this, I'm sure, the Super League, right? The big story this week was the formation of what's known as a Super League, the greatest, biggest soccer clubs in the world. We're going to form their own league. And instantaneously, there was such a massive popular revolt that if they could string every one of those owners on a gallows, they would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, it was amazing to me at how fast the billionaires retreated from this idea, where nationalism kind of completely destroyed capitalism as an idea, right? So that was going on. I'm sure many of you followed the story. It's really, really interesting. But I think subconsciously it kind of edged in my mind because it gave me an idea of something very interesting, which is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but whenever anybody makes markets on sporting events, right? Sporting events, human beings tend to have what's called a home team bias. They like to bet on their home team in far greater percentage terms than is justified by the odds, right? So you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Basically, everybody thinks their home team, like for example, the New York Knicks, which have never won a game, much less a championship in like 25 years. If you were to, on a day-to-day gambling line of Knicks playing anybody else in basketball, the betting in New York would be much heavier towards the Knicks. Let's say the actual true odds should be, I don't know, 25-75 against Knicks. If it was in New York, it'd be 50-50, right? That's what's called the home team bias. Now, while it's cute and amusing in sports, it actually repeats itself 100% in the exact same way in investing. People always, Americans only buy American stocks. Europeans only buy European stocks. It's not even Europeans buy European stocks. Germans only buy German stocks. French only buy French stocks. Spaniards only buy Spanish stocks. It is amazing at how much of a home team bias everybody has. We are very tribal, very, very tribal. And therein lies a really, really interesting trading idea for which our setup is literally made. So that's the background of kind of my home team bias idea. Let me show you how it works in real life. I actually did a couple of trades today, so I can even show you the real trades I did. Okay, we start in Asia, right? We start in Asia, and we're going to go to Asia session open. Let me go backwards. Why is this not moving? Okay. Sorry, I'm moving this. And remember, everything on the bottom line is New York time. Okay, so New York time, Asia session open is 8 o'clock at night, right here, which is about 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And all we're going to do is we're going to just basically trade this one very simple idea. We're going to take one trade per day to the long side of the home currency. So, Aussie is obviously the home currency in Asia. After the market open, we just want to see if there is enough kind of, home team bias during the day at the opening of the trade. And it may not occur at the opening. It may take two or 3 hours, but whatever is the first strong break positive signal, we're going to take that, and we're going to take it with our insurance like odds, like +5 -20. We'll worry about risk reward down the road. Right now, I think it's much more important to trade with very, very big skew, because we're just trading one setup at the start of the session. So here it's super easy. We get long over here. We're just going to take the strong break. We don't even need to do dips. We're just going to do straight strong take because we give ourselves 20 points of room. All we need is 5 points. It's easy. Boom, boom, boom. We're done, right? Now we go to Kiwi. Same idea. We want to go to 8 o'clock New York. as you can see over here, the 8 o'clock New York is around 21:21. We get the trigger. I mean, you actually could probably at 20:09, you would have made this point. But even if you missed this, you could have taken this. Boom, 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 boom. You make the point. So now we're 2 for 2 for the day. Now we're going to go to dollar yen again. 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, right? So 8 o'clock at night in dollar yen, it's this particular signal, a 107.91. We're just looking for 5 points because again, we're trading insurance-like structures. We want highest possibility of success. So 91, all we need is to see 96. It actually goes up to like 97 over here, right? Let's suppose it didn't quite make it. We just hang. It goes against us. We hang in this trade for a little while. And then eventually, as you can see, it goes all the way up to 98. It takes literally, some of these trades take 20 minutes. Some of these trades take 200 minutes. But regardless of what it is, we just stay in the trade until it's either done or stops. So in this case, okay, so now we're 3 for 3 on the Asia session. Okay, now comes Europe. So here's Europe. Now, how do we trade Europe? Europe starts at 2 o'clock in the morning, New York. 2 o'clock in the morning, New York. That's the European Open, and we want the first strong buy signal to Europe. So Euro is super easy. Today we had the wind at our back because the PMI data was really, really great. So Europe just flows up. So Euro makes the cut. Pound at 2 o'clock in the morning is this particular trade. As usual, the pound slips. This is the reason why we always need the 20 points of breathing room. It comes in over here. We get about 10 against us, and then it starts to really rally strongly. We hit again. So now we're 5 for 5 on currencies. Then we go to Euro Yen. Euro Yen, again, we started around 2 o'clock. So you could take this particular at 2:14. This particular trigger comes in, 79, goes a little bit against us to 75, and eventually hits +5. And then pound yen at 2 o'clock. This is like literally, no, it's 155. That's too early. I wouldn't have taken this. But if you took this, it goes 60 to 50. So you still have 20 points. You have 20 points of risk. You would have survived this. But really, the true trade was this trade. This was the 73 trade right over here at 315. I think this was after the good quality UK PMIs really pops us up, and then 5 points. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners. Now we get to North America, and in North America we start at 7 in the morning. So if you think about this, I'm starting session. Every session is a little bit different to its home turf. So Asia is about 8 a.m. to Asia time, or Australia, I guess would be like almost like it's 10 a.m. right? Like Asia starts a little bit later in terms of their dealing, because I think what happens basically is with Asia, the market open is later because the Americans, the North Americans, really don't re-engage with Asia until their evening, and their evening starts 7, 8 o'clock at night. So that'd be fine. Europe tends to always be a little bit early. So 2 a.m. in the morning is 6 a.m. when, well, it's 6 a.m. in London, but I think it's actually 7 a.m. in Frankfurt and a couple of other Central European places. So therefore, Europe really starts to kind of activate earlier. And then North America, basically 7 a.m. too. Same kind of a thing. Everybody gets on their desk around 7. But if you wanted to, you could hold off until 8. Regardless, whether you started at 7 or 8, you would have gotten long dollar CAD around 86, right? Remember, we are trading 20-point room. So you have a slip here. It goes all the way down to 72. This is actually a pretty bad slip in dollar CAD. I started my trading at around 8 o'clock. I actually took this trade. But regardless of whether you took this trade or this trade, remember, you're trading high probability moves. So you're just only giving yourself 20 points of breathing space. So you came in at 86, you survived this, boom, boom, boom. This trade worked cleanly. So effectively, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You went 8 for 0 on the day. 8 for 0 on the day, right? But imagine, let's say Canada didn't work. then you would have gone 7 for 1. You're still net positive for the day. You do one. Okay, sorry guys, just I'm getting distracted by somebody messaging me. If you do, so we had the best day we can have is an 8-0. Second best day is 7-1. At 6-2, I think we're marginally negative, right? If you have two negative trades, you're marginally negative, but you don't get too many negative days like that, because you're only going to be triggering. Like, let's say it's a super negative day. Like there was a couple. Let's go to euro. Like, euro is a good example. So euro is a good example. Let's find a day. I forgot which day it was. What was it, Tuesday? I think it was a big sell-off day. Let me just go back to Tuesday. Sorry, let me go back to Tuesday at around 2 o'clock. I think that was a big sell-off day. No, that works here. Europe picks up over here. What was the big sell-off day? 75. Was it Wednesday, the big sell-off day? I'm totally confused. Let's see, it was Wednesday. Let's see if I can go with Wednesday. Yeah, okay. So Wednesday was a big sell-off. So okay, this is a good example. So you come in at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's just it's a complete disaster. Yours just get sold. Remember, we don't take the trade until we get a positive move to the upside, right? And here, now this is very tough, very tight. You do you enter on this trade at like 2014, but even here, because you have a 20-point breathing space, right? You have room to breathe. It takes a while, but euro eventually pops up. You're able to survive that 20-point move. Now, there are some days where you won't. I mean, the first strong trend break move in a down strong downtrend may not be. Basically, there's three scenarios. You get strong downtrend and then a V-shaped bottom, and then it's golden. You're done. You get strong downtrend and then a consolidation, and that's where the 20-point kind of differential helps you survive the consolidation until you get the reversal move, right? And then the third one is where it's just you just simply get blown out. It just comes in, and then it's just simply a continuation. It's a fake out. So that happens. But the point being is that even when the overall trend of the home currency is negative, there's always a temptation to buy the bottom, to turn it around, to move it the other way. And you can see that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, wow. Gosh, I'm so sorry. You can see that sometimes, even if the first kind of attempt fails, right, the second or the third attempt certainly gives you better possibilities. So let's say even if you got stopped on the first attempt, and you get a second strong break signal, to the upside on the euro against a very strong downtrend, you could take that, to kind of modify your losses from a -20 to maybe -15, because certainly taking this one you're taking it 20.07, and that would have resolved very quickly for 5 points. So I kind of wanted to just kind of lay this out, because this is a super interesting way, super unstressful way to take the key 8 currencies of the world, trade them once a day, and honestly, the only thing we need to do in order to kind of fully automate this process, because we already have the EA itself has trigger from what time, right? Like you can have the EA trigger from a particular time on the chart. The only thing I'm gonna ask Daniel to do is to put in a function where if the EA does one trade, it stops. Like it disappears off the chart after one trade. It does a trade, and then it turns itself off and disappears off the chart. It removes itself off the chart, so that you're not constant. The whole point here is to do one trade per day. But doing that, it becomes very productive. I mean, I can run you through. I'm actually not gonna. you guys type in which currency you want me to go through, and I'll go through the last 5 days of the currency with this particular structure format, and I'll show you just just how possibly profitable it is. In the meantime, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the Dow. Let's just before we kind of get deep into this whole thing. So we have the Dow. I'm looking at the Dow here. We've had negative bid to the Dow, right? Negative bid to the Dow, negative opening to the Dow. Dow is turning. We're going to be looking for a dip buy in the Dow. Let me see what I have in the let me remove my damn it. Okay. So I only want to trade long dip in the Dow. Okay. So if we get, what is, we established a negative bias in the Dow in the open. We want to trade the reversal signal here. In the Russell, it's actually been a positive bias on the open. So here we're going to be looking for eventually sometime down the road, maybe a negative sell dip in the Russell. And on the NASDAQ, it's a positive bias. So we're going to be looking for sometime down the road, if we get it, a strong sell signal in the NASDAQ. Okay, so so far nothing's setting up except our early morning pop to the upside. If the Dow triggers long, I'll let you guys know. In the meantime, give me a currency amongst the ones that I showed you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amongst the 8 that I showed you, give me a currency, and I'm going to run you through the week's trade, kind of show you what this looks like. I'm waiting for you guys to type it in. Dollar CAD. Okay. No, the dollar Swiss is not on the list. Dollar Swiss not on the list, Miguel. Because I refuse to trade dollar Swiss. I hate the freaking currency. Pound yen. All right, you know what? Let's do pound yen because that's a heart attack currency, right? Heart attack currency. So it's like a lot of fun to trade. All right, let's go pound yen. We're gonna go to, so pound yen is a I call it European open currency because it's pound dominant. We're gonna go to Monday, 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, go. Start with that. Okay. So negative bias, negative bias, negative bias. We are looking only for upside break, upside break. Here's the upside break on the 19th, winner. Okay. Next. Now we go to 20th. We want to go to 20th. Scrolling. Okay, 2 o'clock open on the 20th. 2 o'clock open. Long here. Oh, it's 157. Yeah, I should not be doing this. Okay. So if I was really honest, I'd have to be long here, which is 72. But that still makes it. It doesn't matter. If I was nice, I still make it. So remember, I'm only going for 5 points. Okay. So 20th does it also. I mean, it kind of sucks like when it comes in like 157 because and you have this massive run. At that point you may just want to just choose to pass up. So it's up to you. But I took that trade. Okay, 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, this is a clear again 150. It starts 150, but I'm going to go at the 4 o'clock one, which is this strong break. Okay, boom, straight up. So that's 3 for 3 in pound yen on 21st. Now we go to 22nd. This is great for you guys in Europe because it's obviously your, your wake up time, so you can really trade this super easily. The beautiful thing about this is everybody in every region can trade this. Okay, sorry. So now I'm on 22nd, and I'm only looking for strong breaks, not weak breaks, strong breaks. So strong break here, 22 goes like 12 against me. I have a 20 stop, so boom, boom, boom. So 22 gets done. I'm 4 for 4, and I think you guys can guess that today was a good day because clearly I think I showed it to you. Actually, pound was up. So like this 5 for 5 structure is much more common than you think. Much more common than you think, and that's what's so cool about this. You just do one particular trade, exploit a very, very common human emotion using the best techniques that we've developed in terms of identifying trend early. And with a generally wide risk reward structure. I don't know if we'll ever be able to. I mean, the way to trade this kind of more interestingly on a more proprietary basis down the road will be to trade it with 2 units, where if you do catch a massive 30, 40, 50 pip move into that session, sort of like what I call the home bias move, then the second unit could certainly help you. And what I'm showing you is a very mechanistic way of doing it. You do the same 8 currencies, the same time, the same thing, the same station, and you just trying to pump out 5 pips out of every currency as consistently as possible. It's literally like writing insurance policies. This is a very mechanistic way of doing it. But there's also obviously a very creative way of doing it, where you could just say, okay, I know this is the thing I'm going to exploit. Today maybe only a 5 pip day, or it may be a 50 pip day. Maybe I can use a 1-2 exit to try to do that. Maybe I can find, maybe I have the fund at my back today. Obviously, the European currencies had the fund at their back because all the fundamental news was really positive, and I want to trade that to the upside. That kind of stuff. So, but the point being is, it's a super interesting way for us to exploit the tools we already have, right? You guys with me on all of this? Is this clear to everybody? So while we're looking at this, looking at the Dow. So the Dow now turned. Oh no, sorry. This is Nasdaq. Dow turned positive, and I'm waiting for the dip because remember we're doing a reversal trade. Reversal trades are dips in the Dow and everywhere else. I mean, we probably could just simply do reversal straight up at 16. So what is this? This closed at 16. This actually would have made bank already if we traded 1040, it would have been good. But I'm just I'm going to try to see if I can stay on the dip side on the reversal. But regardless, we can if we took this trade, reversal, it would have worked already. I had it configured as a dip, and now I'm going to have to wait and see if we get a dip and get a secondary move. In the Nasdaq and the Russell, we're looking for negative reversals right now. So I have not kind of applied this home team bias analysis to equities, but if I suspect, okay, thank you guys. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay. I suspect that it works also on the equity side, like sort of the home team bias kind of works. Basically, the idea that if you take the first upside break at the market open, you have a reasonable chance that most of them are going to be very successful. So, I mean, obviously upside bias in the Dow worked, right? Because I mean, the Dow opens negative, but then, we're looking for the upside bias post-market open. So here's upside bias post-market open. But I'm actually curious. Let's go to the Dow for the week, just kind of show you. So we want to go starting. Oh man, I think I needed to restart my computer. It's a little slow. So we want to start after 9:30, right? So we're looking for upside bias, and obviously very negative here. So this upside bias actually fails because we have very negative moves here. The dip in this case actually works. So this is another reason why I prefer always to use the dip trade in the Dow versus the strong break, even though like right now the strong break is just a big runaway, because generally if the strong break works, the dip works, but if the strong break fails, the dip sometimes works. So what I mean by dip working is that we have the upside bias, we're in at 71, it easily goes to, we're looking only for 10 points here. Again, we're not being greedy, just 10 points up, it makes the upside bias here nice and clean. Let's go to the 20th. Oh man, sorry, this is taking forever. So what do you guys think about that whole idea? It's kind of cool, right? Okay, 20th, again, very negative market. So when I'm doing dip, by the way, the dip trade, the way I have it configured on my algo, the dip does not require a strong break to the upside. It just requires a break, because the whole point is if you get a break, dip back out, that's a strong indication you have continuation to the side that you want to go. So here again, upside bias takes, you're trading up. This is both kind of a reversal trade and an upside bias trade, so it's just sort of both. But the point is that if you just adhere to this idea, you take the dip here, boom, another winner. So you have 2 day, two for two, 19, 20th both work in the Dow. Oh wow, man, this is I thought I was going to do this faster, but it's just like it's actually slower. Okay, so now again we're opening up. Here we already have an upside bias. Here we have an upside bias, but it doesn't matter, because this is what we're looking for is post market open upside, evidence of upside bias. And obviously here we have dip, third day, boom, works also, right? This is just simply a strong upside day, right? I'm just having the Dow having a runaway move in a Dow here right now, so I can't even get into a dip trade. But we have to be very patient, as the day goes by. And then finally, sorry, did I miss a 20? Oh, where was I? A 22nd. Sorry, I totally missed the 22nd. So again, 22nd, a massive sell-off on the market open, but then we get the dip trade here, right? Boom, super easy. Remember, just the first dip trade, just the first impulse to the home team bias, right? Goes up. So, and then that was 22nd, and it's today 23rd. So right now we don't have a trade yet because we don't have the dip move. But basically 4 out of 5, we're up. We're up, and we'll see if today gives us the fifth day. So I just think it's kind of an interesting fusion of the basic human behavior that is inviolable, that we're tribal, and the very refined, very clean indicators that we have that are designed to catch continuation. And maybe that's why it explains that the long side is just so much better what's going on over here? The long side is kind of a better variant of this trade than the short side. Anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? Everything is skewed up, so we have to be super patient. It's probably going to be maybe a couple of hours before the trade's resolved. Now, this goes back to another interesting way of thinking about it. Remember, I talked about the idea of and God, nobody is more guilty of this, and nobody is can be a poster child for this than me, which is when we day trade, we all have a tendency to do way too many trades. If I counted how many times I've been up huge and then gave it all back by the end of the day because I overtraded, I literally would never have to trade again in my life. I think we've all been there. And this one trade per day per instrument is kind of a way for us to curb the worst of our human impulses, but at the same time, also give us the chance to participate in the price action, and participate more than once, because obviously we're just going to participate across a whole bunch of instruments instead of just one instrument. So I thought it was an interesting ability to fuse the two, and keep us in control most of the time. What is longer horizontal line? So, oh, you mean this line? Okay, so let me, for those of you who want the full explanation of the indicator. So, the indicator basically looks to break the highest high of the first three bars, or the first three candles of the trend. This particular bar marks the highest high or the lowest low of the first three candles of the trend. Once that's broken, which is on this particular candle, that is designated as a break, and it can be either a strong break or a weak break. The strong break or a weak break is contingent on whether you have a higher low or lower low when you're breaking it out. And that's all that is. So the reason why that sometimes the line is very, very short and sometimes the line is very, very long is because sometimes it only takes one or two candles to break the top third high, and sometimes it takes like 4 or 5 candles to break the top or the low, the top low high. So the length of the line is contingent on how many candles it's taking before the direction of the trend shows itself. Does that make sense, Maha? Okay. So I don't have any, legitimate setups here, which means we just got to be very, very patient. But I think I have a lot more valuable stuff today because I bring you. Yeah, so Krasi's saying it's very cool because he's had that same problem as I, and if you keep it to one trade per currency, one trade per indices, you can control your worst impulses. But I bring you hopefully some very interesting ideas. And as I said, you can do this on a prop basis or on a Karen says, just listening to me keeps me calm. We should just I should just play Barry White in that case, Karen. We'll do the Barry White in background music, and it'll be all set. So that's it. I think we're making really, really great progress on all fronts. Trades have been pretty. I've been doing fewer trades, but literally killing every day. We haven't had a losing day. And what I was going to say to you is, so here's the final way I'm kind of going to be thinking about this particular setup. And let's just take Eurodollar for example, right? So we have 20 trading days in a month, on an average month, right? Which means we have 20 possible trade setups. So if you're trading, 1 to 4, what that means is, in a perfect world, if you have just one losing day in a month, you're 15 positive days, because the way it works is, you have 20 trades, you make 20 trades, 19 of them are winners, one of them is a loser. The loser knocks out 4, so 19 minus 4 is 15, right? That's you basically have 15 positive days. If you have 2 negative days, Then you have, God, now I have to do the math. It's uh, 18 trades that are positive, 8 trades, minus 8 to the negative. So you have 10 positive days, right? So that is net positive, net positive, not just positive out of 20, but net positive. And if you think of it that way, I think first of all, it's very soothing, but it's also, you can really see how day by day, currency by currency, indice by indice, you just build this really tremendous ability to double the account. Like I said, it's ridiculously small to double, to take $1,000 account. You just need to make $20 per week, not per day. I mean, I do this like, every friggin' day per week to double your account in a year. It's just that it's very slow and gradual, and we don't see it, and we can't, imagine it. But but if you kind of focus it on that way of like, how many net positive days can I have out of an instrument on a monthly basis? That's where you really make, the big goods. And by the way, the final thing I want to say to you is I'm so fucking glad that every one of these bastards has lost half their money overnight. I hope it goes to zero, this piece of crap Dogecoin, whoever owns it, because I despise the fact that they drop $100 and have 10,000 in their account in a week, because that's not how markets work. And I hope they lose all their money, because this is one of the few times I really have spite in my blood. Yeah, that's previous disclose. Okay, John, you figured it out? Yeah, great. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. I think the home team bias is kind of a really, really interesting thing. And that was the reason why I think, the long side really, really works better, All right, guys, what else? Anything else? Are we good? Should we wrap it up for the week? As it's been a pretty good week. It's dipping in here. Let's see, a very, very big move here. So I'm gonna have to see. Well, I need a close, then a dip, then a move back. We'll see if the Dow is going to torture me today. But the Dow may be setting up for a setup here. So far, no dip. It needs to come in and then reverse back out. So I don't know if it's going to sell off a little bit hard here or not. So it's starting to show a dip. I just realized that my algo is a little bit. By the way I set up a dip here, and just so you guys should know, is you may not have it, because the default on dips is 0, and I put the dip in at -2 because I have found that getting close to the fast moving average is actually better. And sometimes what happens is that the price will get close to the fast moving average, and not quite go into the moving average pocket, and then start to go back up. And you really want to be in that position. Let's see if I'm right. So we're gonna play this right now. If it holds. Okay, we're in at 68. Let's see if this is right. We're looking for 78 as our possible trade. And we'll see if my dip trade works today. This may take a couple of minutes, so we'll have to let it float. Well, I actually came in at 66 or 65 or 64, sorry. So let's see if I can bank it out over here. May take a long time. We've had a super um, powerful rally here, right? So, and consolidation and even profit taking is natural. So we'll see. It's gone 68, 70, 71, 72. If you guys are there, I would take it right now, just to lock ourselves in. I'm gonna do it right now, just because I want to have a good close on the day. Good job. So I took it out. I took it over there at around 72. Good enough for government work. It probably goes full 10, but it's, it was um, so highly overbought here at this point that the correction is not so steep that I wanted to fool around with it. But yeah, now it goes. There it goes. 74, 75 would have done it. So hopefully some of you guys banked. And it just, this basically completes the 5 for 5 day, right? So Dow every day. Didn't we do the Dow? We did the Dow as our example. The Dow worked every day, 5 for 5. There are, good job, Connie got about 5. I have a lot of people chatting me in, oh, Huber, my friend. Do not chat me in Zoom. I ignore all the Zoom stuff. Zuber is asking me, can we use this for Ethereum, the USD? You could definitely use it for Ethereum USD. The bigger question is how. Like, what I've just, you can use it just sort of. Sorry, guys, just one sec. Just bear with me. Sorry, just one sec. I need to respond to this. Like, what do you have a home team bias in Ethereum? I mean, I guess you have a crypto team bias. You always look at, where's the opening market for that? It's a global market. So I don't know how I could apply this to crypto, because the crypto is a truly stateless, nationless asset. So therefore, it doesn't have the kind of tribal ability that that these other currencies have. So I'm going to leave crypto out of it for now, because I don't have any intelligent way of trading it. But if you wanted to trade crypto just on strong breaks, figuring out trading trend, you could certainly use it for that. Yes. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions here for anybody. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Connie got some pips. I think my algo is actually set for a deeper dip, which in this case probably is not a bad idea. Let me see if let's see if I reconfigure this to our base dip settings, which would be 0. By the way, you see this is, to understand this. This says as long as the pair comes in two ticks above the moving average, then make it into a dip. If otherwise, it needs to come in right through the moving average at 0. Oops, sorry. Offset is 0. And then it would, so like if I set this to normal. Oh, so if I set this to normal, I guess this came in here, so this would be the dip. So that would have been an entry here. What is that? 65 to 75. Yeah, that would have worked also. So all right, never mind. Okay. All good on all of this. When do I close the NQ at the 16-hour New York? Sorry, what are we talking about? Why are we closing NQ? What do you mean about it? What about the closing the NQ? We don't, NQ is positive bias. So for us to trade the reversal signal, we really need a strong break to the downside on the NQ, which we don't have yet. Oh, are you asking me when does NQ close for trading for the weekend? Yeah, 1600 hours New York. Is that what you're asking me, Miguel? It actually trades to 1615. It trades 15 minutes after the cash equity close on the NQ. You know what I didn't look at, which I know like Karen trades and Connie trades, and we could definitely look at it next week, because we didn't look at the DAX and the home country bias in the DAX, which could be interesting, and then maybe even the FTSE, which would be interesting for us to see on on next week. Gold, yeah. So gold gold is kind of a universal asset. I mean, we could look at gold, but we'd have to trade. The idea of trading gold with this bias, session opening bias, doesn't really exist, because gold it's like Bitcoin. It's non-national, right? So we could have to look at gold and see what other interesting patterns we could exploit there. I mean, we could just simply exploit the strong break pattern. That's fine. We could just trade continuous. What I'm trying to do is just filter filter the multiple signals that we have into this one very clean, clear, understandable signal that can be traded every single day over and over again, mechanically. And then, obviously, everything else is open up to artistic interpretation, is how I would put it. All right, guys, I got to run. I'm sorry, I got meetings. I got to schedule. It's been a very, very good week for us. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. We really got everything, all of our tool sets in hand. The next big thing that's coming is going to be the scanner. And once we have the scanner, then we really have some possibilities for swing trades and and longer term positional trades, because that will give us a much richer, deeper view into how things are working. But I'm really happy with the trading view, because it's just so much easier for us to trade with trading view indicator on the thing. And the only other thing we need to do is just simply do that one trade and done on the EA, and that'll be done soon too. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Everybody enjoy and have fun. And if you have any additional ideas or thoughts about anything I said this week, definitely share it with us next week. I'll see everybody on Monday. Take care, guys.